A man sits in front of a bookshelf and coat rack with short, dark hair.
Okay, good afternoon. My name's Thomas Earl. I'm the Chief Executive Officer of Liberty Resources, this federally funded Center for Independent Living in Philadelphia. I'm also a civil rights lawyer licensed in the state of Pennsylvania with a focus on disability rights and policy. And I'm here to speak today to fellow peers around the country, including people with disabilities who are in management positions of nonprofits like Liberty Resources, about some of the external and internal challenges that I have faced in my 15-year plus tenure at the center. Sometimes the internal challenges are as difficult as external ones, and our organization, Liberty, has had the experience of going through both challenges, beginning in 2010, 2011, with the election of a new governor in Pennsylvania, Governor Tom Corbett. Governor Corbett at that time consolidated a lot of human services programs, including home and community-based services and financial management services for consumer-directed care models. And in doing so, steered the work of 37 providers statewide who did consumer-directed model financial services, administering payroll on behalf of consumers, and consolidated it from 37 providers, of which we were one of the largest, to just one statewide provider who was from Massachusetts. So our organization, together with the other 36, were facing a huge budget deficit, over $50 million, and what to do with our staff and organization and the survival. So it was very difficult, but similar to National Adapt. We adhere to the motto of adapt or perish, and Liberty as an organization with our program directors have been able to effectively adapt through many challenges over the years, and this was yet one more. So we quickly shifted our business model from consumer financial management services and payroll work to starting our own home care agency that was closely modeled to Services My Way and and our home care agency was modeled on an agency with choice model, where consumers would still be able to hire who they would like, and we would then hire them directly as employees to provide the home care and do all the necessary background checks and so on. We started with one consumer and one attendant, and quickly over the years that has now evolved to close to 600 consumers and about 600 or 700 attendants who work for them. So we did adapt and survive that, and at or around the same time, this all coincided with the economic downturn that started in 2008 and extended into the first years of the Obama administration. It was a very challenging time, and the value of our building that we owned at the time went underwater, and we were struggling with the operational costs of the building at the time, and decided the best thing was to no longer be a building owner or landlord, and agreed to have the mortgage note given to an investment group from Brooklyn, and they took over the building and let us reside in the building as tenants. So that helped us tremendously. But during that time, the internal challenges started, and they involved the board leadership. And a mistake that I regret at the time was not being more closely involved with the selection of board members. And the lesson that I learned is that with nonprofits, it's very important for your board members to be vested and devoted to the mission of the organization and the people it serves. And we had a sort of rogue group of about 3 to 4 board members at the time who really co-opted most of the board and made a series of bad decisions, and there was quite a bit of turmoil at the board level. And I asked the board members to leave the organization in a diplomatic way that would cause at least disruption to the organization. Shortly after that, we continued to work together, but it was a very difficult period. And that group eventually made some bad decisions, including management changes, including my position. And the staff and the consumers and other community stakeholders rallied to support me and were able to bring me back to the organization and continue leading it. And the board members left the board who had caused this sort of temporary upheaval. So the lesson learned is keep your board members very close to you and make sure they understand your mission and believe in your mission and support it, and that they're willing to defer to the people the organization serves, especially centers for independent living that are supposed to be consumer controlled and staffed, and that the boards are supposed to have at least 51% people with disabilities on them. Fast forward to 2020, we have now achieved that and have a very solid board, and are continuing to grow our organization and do well, including our most recent challenges with managed care, the switch to managed care for long-term services in Pennsylvania. So that's what I have to share with you, and good luck with your important work as leaders of the disability community.